first time in 40 years, the Broncs of Ryder will ride into Morgantown. The preseason favorites to win the MAC are expected to give the Mountaineers a strong game this evening at the Coliseum. Good evening. Thanks for being with us for our continuing wild and wonderful coverage of West Virginia athletics alongside Hall of Famer Warren Baker, former standout Nathan Adrian. I'm Rob King. The Mountaineers expecting to have James Beetle Bolden back in the lineup. He's missed the last couple. If he can play tonight, what kind of effect can he have in the Mountaineers lineup?
Well, he's a leader. He scores, and he brings toughness to the Mountaineers. They really need him. They've won the last two without him, but they still really miss him.
A little more uncertain about Sags Kanate. Sat out practice yesterday, didn't take place in the morning shoot around today, was able to take part moments ago as the team came out here to warm up. What do they miss if Sags Kanate can't play?
Sags is going to be a big absence for them, mainly on the defensive end. If anybody gets beat, he's there to help them. He's there to block shots, and that's going to be missed greatly. But it'll be a good opportunity for both Andrew Gordon and Logan Routh to play solid minutes.
Well, against Valparaiso, Kanate had a career-high 26 points, chipped in 10 rebounds. Also a career high for Issa Ahmad. He had 30 against Valparaiso.
Well, and Mountaineer fans have seen this out of Issa Ahmad. The big thing with him is consistency. 12 for 15 from the field, 30 points. That's a pretty efficient night, but they need to see more and more of that.
Well, West Virginia appears to have found its footing with 2 straight wins. Welcome a team into the Coliseum that no one else seems to want to play. The Ryder Broncs visit the Mountaineers next on AT&T Sportsnet. Well, here are the starting lineups for tonight's game, and for Ryder coming off just their 10th 20-win season in 90 years of basketball. Same starting lineup they had a year ago when they went to the NIT. For West Virginia, meanwhile, good news, Beetle Bolden is in the lineup, but this is still their 5th different starting lineup in their 6th game this season. If anybody can shuffle those cards effectively, you would expect it to be that man, author of 848 career wins. That's head coach Bob Huggins, opposed by Kevin Baggett tonight, the former St. Joseph's player who is a 2-time MAC Coach of the Year, 2 times in his 6 seasons in Lawrenceville, New Jersey as the head coach at Ryder. Route and Tyre Marshall getting ready to go. Issa Ahmad controls for West Virginia. Beetle Bolden will run the point, and it's a man-to-man defense for Ryder. And expect Ryder to play aggressive defense throughout.
Mountaineers trying to get the ball into Issa quick, see if they can't get him started like they did last week.
Harris, three-pointer, no good. Rebound, and off they go. Here's Demencio Vaughn, and Vaughn takes it in, has it stripped. Rebound, and the foul called as Anthony Durham able to take it to the basket. Looks like he'll shoot a pair.
Well, transition defense for West Virginia is going to be very important. They have struggled with that from time to time, getting back, communication, and also picking up shooters when they come down and spot up in transition. So West Virginia's got their hands full with this transition game.
And it's a Ryder team that will battle, Nathan, along the boards, and they will scrap as well. These are kids, most of these kids from Philadelphia or New York, they're not going to be cowed coming into this environment.
No, you can tell them warm-ups. They weren't scared to come out and play the Mountaineers, so it's going to be a tough game for them.
Durham hits the first of 2, just 3 for 6 on the season from the free throw line for him. The graduate student from Philadelphia, working on his master's, hits the second. And we're used to press Virginia, but we're going to see press Ryder in this game. They will press probably all game long.
Ryder's forced 20 turnovers in 2 of their 3 games, and there you see one early, which we can't do this game.
And ahead to Jordan, and the layup as he gets the pass from Vaughn, and the quick turnover, and it's a 4-0 lead. And the reach-in foul on Stevie Jordan.
Ryder foul whistled on Anthony Durham.
Right now, Ryder has looked a little bit more like Press Virginia than Press Virginia has this year. West Virginia really hasn't gotten on track with their pressure, but Ryder coming out with good pressure here early.
And they'll do this all game, and it's a very similar press, the 1-2-2 that we see from West Virginia, isn't it?
Yes. And if they get a chance to trap like they're going to do in the corner.
And the old adage is that teams that press don't like to be pressed themselves.
That's exactly right.
Bolden, three-pointer on the way, short. Rebound to Wesley Harris. Harris goes up strong, off the mark. Route the rebound, the follow. Can't get that to go. Still West Virginia basketball. Pass inside is a pretty one. The Paris off his knee, and it will go to Ryder. Boy, a ton of opportunities in close for the Mountaineers, and this is their 4th meeting ever with Ryder. The first came back in 1929-1930. That was Ryder's only victory in the series, and this is the first time they played in 40 years. Back-to-back seasons, 77 and 78. West Virginia defeating Ryder. No one covers. Demencio Vaughn in for the jam. 6-0 for the Bronx.
Poor rotation by the Mountaineers.
Especially when you're rotating to their best player.
Vaughn, their leading scorer, 17 points a game. The alpha dog, according to Coach Kevin Baggett. Issa Ahmad, open three-pointer, no good. Rebound to Rout, and Logan Rout will get a chance to shoot a couple free throws. You talk about no weak side rotation. Not much rotation at all here, Nathan.
No, they were way late, not in any kind of position to play defense there. There's not much Beetle can do. He just needs to get out of the way and not get a foul in that kind of situation.
Exactly. If he can't get over there in time enough to take a charge, then he's better off giving the basket up, which he did.
Exactly.
And the Mountaineers still looking for their first point of the game. Rout came in shooting 3 for 6 from the free throw line. Lamont West in for Wesley Harris.
West Virginia's going to have to get a player in that can get the lid off the basket.
And they finally lift the lid and get that, and now showing some pressure of their own. Down 5 early. Stevie Jordan, very good ball handler.
Averaging 7 assists a game right now through the first 3, which is very solid.
Yeah, a guy that can score but looks to get his team involved. And now the turnover, Tyre Marshall, first turnover forced, I beg your pardon, by the Mountaineers.
Chase Harley in the passing lane. Miscommunication by the Ryder players. Throw it away.
Whenever a big gets the ball like that, you want to make an emphasis for our team to deny so that they make mistakes throwing the ball away like that.
Does the guard need to know better than to give the ball to the guy in that situation? Maybe?
No, I mean you have to give it to him, but the big just needs to do a better job of calming down and getting the ball back to his guard.
Well, Kevin Baggett has been hit with a technical foul. He looks perplexed.
Well, the official standing right there, he must have said something that didn't agree with him because he hit him real quick with that technical, no hesitation.
Well, as you can see, he looks extremely puzzled.
He must have said something because that's we're only 3 minutes in this game. We usually don't see technicals that early.
Not with the stare down. I think something came out of his mouth.
Yeah, I would say so.
We will not surmise what that might have been.
Whatever it was, it didn't agree with the official.
Bolden hits 1 of 2.
Well, the Mountaineers starting out as cold as it is outside right now. Wow.
Blustery conditions may be keeping this crowd down a little bit. I think anybody who follows college basketball expects this to be a good game. Ahmad off the inbounds play, and it's a 6-4 game now. Jordan kicks, extra pass back to Jordan. He'll try the three-pointer. That is off the mark, and Rout the rebound.
Excellent ball movement by Ryder, just didn't get the shot to drop.
Not in a little bit of trouble. Bolden able to corral. Now he'll step back for 3. Short, off the mark, and out of bounds as Durham, the glue guy, according to Kevin Baggett, for his team, can't corral it. And now Andrew Gordon will check into the game for Logan Rout.
West Virginia's barely gotten any offense. They're taking a lot like that one. That's a step back 3 off of 2 passes. That's not really what you're looking for. That's better shot.
And that is good. You called it. Nice job.
He can make them whenever he's open like that. I mean, he can make the tough ones too. You just don't want them that early in the shot clock.
The Mountaineers, down 6-0, have strung together 7 consecutive points. Allen on the drive, a little contact, no foul called. Gordon able to gather it in and hand off to Bolden.
That was a bad job of ball screen defense. What the Mountaineers are trying to do is push up on the ball screens and let the guard get under, which they didn't do in that situation. I'm guessing it was an error in communications by Andrew Gordon, not telling Chase early enough to get under the screen.
Well, the Mountaineers, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country a year ago. It has not been a strength this year, but it has early on. The extra possession winds up with 2 more points, a 9-0 West Virginia run, and Kevin Baggett wants a timeout for Ryder. So the Mountaineers fall behind early 6-0, 9 straight for West Virginia, up 3, 16-13 remaining first half. We've been sounding the warning bells tonight, and this is why. Some early season upsets around the nation. How about Furman over Villanova, Radford over Notre Dame, Lipscomb over TCU, Northeastern over Alabama. So some big upsets. This is a very capable Ryder team. They went to the NIT a year ago. They returned their top 5 players, their starting lineup intact from a year ago. The 6th man of the year in the MAC, Frederick Scott, who was just checked in. He's a transfer from DePaul. He is back for this team, and then they get another couple Division I transfers. Kamar Williams, who's a 2-year starter at Florida International. Ahmad Gilbert, who'd been at Minnesota. So this is a deep and good Ryder basketball team.
Oh, you saw that graphic. A lot of people might want to put Buffalo over West Virginia on that same, but still Buffalo, they beat Arizona last year. They're a really, really good Division I team.
Stevie Jordan penetrates, and Scott misses the layup. And Lamont West makes sure it's a one-and-done trip for Ryder. 7 offensive rebounds for the Mountaineers, leading to 6 second-chance points for them. Lamont thought twice about it, and the rebound to Vaughn.
Sadly, a lot of the reason why we have 7 offensive rebounds because of the amount of opportunities we have to get them.
Ooh, Vaughn, who is, by the way, left-handed with the right-handed scoop, and then apparently a little something to say to Lamont West on the way down, breaking a 3-minute scoreless drought for Ryder. Gordon squaring up, looking, now 10 on the shot clock. And the 3-pointer from Beto Bolden is good.
If Beto starts shooting like that, Ryder's going to have to make some adjustments and fight over that screen or either switch, get a hand up. Nice screen by Gordon.
Ryder was doing a good job in the post on Issa, fronting him and keeping the ball out of his hands because I know he has a mismatch down there.
Durham cuts the dribble into Marshall. Left-hander spins, has it blocked on the help from West, gets it back, and is able to power it up over Gordon and West. Bolden feeling it, gets himself in a little bit of trouble. Gordon shot off the mark and out of bounds. It will be Ryder basketball.
You know, Sags Canate has hit a few of those. Andrew Gordon is not quite as efficient shooting that shot yet as Sags is, and I'm sure Bob Huggins doesn't want to see a lot of those.
No, he doesn't. Again, it's the timing of the shot. That was a one-pass quick shot from 18 feet from your center, which is not what you want.
And the Mountaineers see Beto Bolden going 3 for 5 from the floor. The rest of the team 1 for 10 from the field for the Mountaineers. Gordon crosses, spins. Scott, by the way, can shoot the 3, but pulls back now. 10 on the shot clock, looking to put it on the deck against West. Spins and did everything but finish. Route the rebound. Bolden kicks ahead. Chase Harler 3-pointer too strong.
Well, another one of those quick shots you're talking about, Nate.
Scott, pretty drive. Mentioned he was the MAC 6th player of the year a year ago, redshirt sophomore.
That's when you can tell Canate's not in the ball game.
Yep, they're attacking the basket without fear right now.
Inside, Matthews missed the short one. Route tries to follow up, will be called for the foul. Now Tyre Marshall and James Bolden, now the official kind of shoving Marshall a little bit, it seemed, as he tried to get that ball away. That was interesting.
Foul whistled on Logan Route. His first. Team foul number 2.
Well, neither one of them wanted to let go of the ball. Little gamesmanship. Durham right down. And route is there for the block of Durham.
Yeah, made him all do that. Nice play by Route.
That was a better job of attacking the ball instead of just backing up.
Oh, and then Allen comes back and blocks Bolden from behind. Durham looking for trailing help, and now has a wide open layup. Mountaineers fall asleep defensively, and Ryder back on top 14-12.
Jermaine Haley to have to go find his man and left the gate open.
How much of that is communication, playing with different guys?
It is. It's a lot of it's communication.
It's a lot of, and also when you're young like that, you don't realize that you can't turn your head at any point in time because they're coming towards the basket if you do.
Haley kicks to West. West three-pointer, no good. Route another rebound, lost it though. To Demencio Vaughn. Marshall's able to keep it alive and then fouled as he goes up for the shot. So again, Ryder, no problem playing this up-tempo ball. They love it.
They do. Their game is transition. Beat you down the floor.
His first personal, team foul number 3.
And you see the reach in, and now Marshall. Foul on Matthews. This is one Achilles heel for Ryder, who's on a 6-0 run right now. Not a good free throw shooting team. 56% in the young season. Marshall hits the first. I say young season. They've only played 3 games. Nobody wants to play them. And you can't blame teams for turning them down. Right? I mean, this is a team, they went to the NIT last year. They bring back their top 6 guys, 2 transfers. Everybody knows they're pretty good. So
they talk about
ducked a little
buying
bit.
games.
Yeah.
The team, they don't want to buy this one.
No.
Certainly don't want to pay a team to come in and beat you.
No, that's right.
And you talked about them being a 56% free throw shooting team. That really hurts a team that likes to press too, because a lot of the times they want to get that thing set after the ball goes through the hoop.
They were only 61% a year ago. It's something that Kevin Baggett says he's aware of. His team works hard at it, and he thinks they can be better. They just haven't been yet. Harris off the glass, no good. Rebound to Vaughn. Scott runs into trouble, looking for help. Now Wesley Harris doing a nice job defensively. A kick over, and Karamoko Cisse, who's checked into the game, misses that one. Back the other way comes Harris. Cisse with the block, but contact down below, and Wesley Harris will be going to the free throw line when we return. The Ryder Bronx up by 4, 16-12, 11:40 remaining in the first half. Pens will be back in action later tonight when they travel to Colorado to take on the Avalanche in their first meeting of the season. Robbie Inzbikowski and Colby Armstrong will get you ready for all the action starting at 9 p.m. The Pens pregame on AT&T Sportsnet. And the Pens now have a 5-game unbeaten streak, 3-0-2, so starting to look like the Pens again. I know you were concerned. You were concerned, weren't you?
Yes, I was concerned. I tell you what, that backhand by Crosby last night was beautiful, wasn't it? Wow.
Kid's got a chance, Warren.
Yeah, he may be good someday.
Wesley Harris.
What a pleasure to watch him play. He's been on a roll. The team's been on a roll. Meanwhile, Ryder on an 8-0 run here. West Virginia hasn't scored in over 3 minutes. We've seen a game of runs thus far. Now that scoreless drought for the Mountaineers ends as Harris hits the first of 2. And Harris hits them both.
Nate, you did a lot of this pressing. What is West Virginia missing as far as being effective on their press that you guys used to do?
A lot of effort. Doesn't seem like anybody's given the full effort they need to be able to press. You got to be sprinting at all times because you'll give up situations like that. You got to run back and find your man, or else they're going to get wide open shots.
Well, we told you Frederick Scott could step out and hit the 3. The big guy, 6'8", hits the 3-pointer there. Ryder's lead is now 5, 19-14, and now miscommunication between Napper and Haley. Vaughn wants to slow things down to Jordan.
You know, if a team makes a good defensive play and you turn it over, you can somewhat live with that. But West Virginia, from time to time, just gives the ball away.
They're throwing it to people who aren't looking. They're making errors they can't make.
Oh, backdoor cut. Oh, the extra pass attempt goes off of Jordan Allen, out of bounds. It'll be West Virginia basketball, just the second turnover the Bronx have had in this game. Haley out and Bolden in.
As you can tell, who got pulled from the game, that wasn't Brandon Knapper's fault on that pass.
Yep. Well, that one was.
That one was.
Matthews gets it back. Now here's Knapper with 10 left. Knapper crossover and has it taken away. Here's Stevie Jordan ahead to Allen and blocked by Vito Bolden, but it's going to be a goaltend.
Boy, good hustle back by Vito, and he has good hops.
He just barely got that on the glass before Beal blocked it.
Yep. Good call. Now Ryder has avoided mistakes, and West Virginia's made too many early on, and they find themselves down here by 7, 21-14. Fans here wanted Harris to push.
I think they wanted to lob to Gordon inside.
Bolden kicks. Harler, three-pointer. Too strong. Rebound to Gordon. Gordon battling with Eke, and it's going to be called a jump ball as Divine Eke is able to get his hands in there. And let's take a look at the MAC preseason poll, and Ryder, the runaway, in fact, the unanimous pick to win the conference.
It's hard to argue against someone who won the regular season league last year and returns all their starters.
Yep. And they have not been to the NCAAs since 1994. Went in back-to-back years. They've been there 3 times in their history. Went to the NIT last year for the 2nd time in program history. But Kevin Baggett is clear that he wants to get his team to the tournament this year. A long three-pointer off the mark. They've done a nice job defensively on Jordan Allen, an excellent three-point shooter, maybe getting a little bit of an itchy trigger finger there as he pulled from deep.
Yeah, but you have a guy, rifle one up from 28, 29 feet. You want to get a good box out and try to get that rebound. That's not the best shot in the world that you can take.
Checking in from Ryder, Tyrone Marshall.
So Ryder's still with a possession. The rebounds, we talked about this, that Ryder's scrappy, and even at 13 apiece, we saw all those offensive rebounds early, but that spigot has been shut off by the Bronx. Jordan looking, trying to penetrate, gets it down low. Oh, caught the mismatch, but nice job by Bolden to knock it out of there. Used his quickness on the bigger man. Here's Harris back the other way. Rejected by Eke, kept alive by Route to Ahmad.
That was a great
Give
job.
him an assist for that.
He should. That was a great job. He knew he couldn't get it. He just gave it a tip to Easter for the lay-in.
Scott trying to go to work, lost his balance, lost the ball, turnover, 4th and on consecutive trips now for the Bronx as well.
Scott made his mind up early that he was going to take that shot, and he got himself in trouble. Nobody else on the ball club was involved. He was going to do it one-on-one, and it ended up in a turnover.
Also checking in.
Too much to say, Nathan, that Wesley Harris might be their best on-the-ball defender as far as their up-front guys?
No, it definitely isn't too much to say. I mean, he's long, he's athletic, he's fast. He should be able to guard anybody on the court.
Mountaineers down 5. Harris into Route. Route left hand off the window and good.
Well, Logan Route couldn't have done that 2 years ago. My goodness.
No.
Guy who's starting tonight, he only played 31 minutes his entire redshirt freshman year, so safe to say he's come a long way.
And he's come an even longer way from the year before that when he had no chance of getting any kind of time.
Mountaineers forcing yet another turnover. Bolden now kicks. Harler, three-pointer on the way and too strong. Route battling and keeps it alive off Marshall, and Logan Route has been a presence down and low.
Logan Route is making his presence known. Gets good position here. Excellent pass from Harris.
He knew where the defender was on his back early.
Yeah, exactly.
He got the ball and turned right to his left hand. laid it in.
And the turnover back the other way. Oh, and Vaughn misses the dunk. Bolden pull up, and it's good. And Beetle Bolden is feeling it, and we are tied at 21.
We better be feeling to take a shot like that with nobody there.
Well, if one guy can hit it, Beetle can.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Kamar Williams, another good ball handler. Florida international transfer, takes it right down the lane and scores.
I think Beetle took one in the beak. They may have to get him out.
Checking for blood. And to Ahmad. Pump fake, trying to go to work on Vaughn. A little fadeaway. Off the mark. Kept alive, and Vaughn the rebound.
Tell you what, the refs tonight are letting him play. There's a lot of contact going on that's not being called.
And Kamar Williams, for the second time, goes right past Beetle Bolden to the basket and scores. And Riders lead back up to 4. And Bob Huggins wants a timeout. Gets a timeout, and now has some words with the officials as well. So the Mountaineers and the Rider Bronx, as expected, a tussle, and it's the Bronx up 25-21. Beetle Bolden is leading the Mountaineers with another three-pointer for him. Rider University leading West Virginia 25-21, 7:02 remaining in the first half. Beetle Bolden getting a little attention on his nose, which took a little poke a moment ago, but boy, he has been the main offensive driving force for the Mountaineers. Nathan, 12 early points for Beetle Bolden.
Yeah, he's made 3 threes already. The rest of the team is 0 for 10, so he's the only person right now that's making 8 shots.
Man, the guy's had some hard luck this year, you know. His elbow's been messed up, his knee has been messed, his nose now. I mean, every part of his body. But he puts it all on the line.
Yeah, he is a scrappy, feisty player. And a slight build. Here's Wesley Harris, three-pointer, no good, batted. And it's Kamar Williams looking for the trailer. Allen, three-pointer, it's good. And Jordan Allen can heat up in a hurry. The Gatorade Delaware Player of the Year a couple of years back, can really shoot it. McCabe pulls up, and Mr. Wisconsin basketball misses. Mountaineers keeping it alive. Ahmad can't get it to go. Once again, battled for and pulled down by Lamont West.
The Mountaineers are essentially going without a big right now. They have Issa, West, and Lamont in the game, but none of them are true bigs.
Here's Ahmad on the nice feed from McCabe, the three-pointer.
Good recognition by Jordan McCabe.
Vaughn wants to take it up against Harris on his own. He can dribble it. Frederick Scott can dribble it. Kamar Williams working his way over towards our table. He is a pure point guard along with Jordan. A lot of guys that can handle the ball against pressure for this Rider team.
As Nate said, West Virginia without a true big, you look for Issa Ahmad to flex his muscles a little bit here and lead the crowd. He's got the most experience on the floor.
Well, turnover. Nobody came to Durham to give him any help. Here's McCabe now. Cross to West. Three-pointer is good for Lamont West. Back-to-back assists for McCabe. Back-to-back three-pointers for the Mountaineers within one now.
Those are three-point shots you want. They're step in, you're looking at the basket, you're walking into it. It's a much easier shot.
Always nice when that's delivered in the proper spot too, right?
The pass makes a lot more. It makes a lot more. It makes it a lot easier. Is what I'm trying to say than what you would think.
That starts that step in.
Exactly.
Durham putting it on the floor and tied up by Ahmad. Turnover, and it will go back to West Virginia. 7 turnovers now for Rider.
See, when that ball hits you right where your hands are already, it makes it much easier. Get your 2 feet down, get the ball up quickly.
You sometimes wonder if young point guards understand how important that is, the location of the pass.
No, they don't. Generally, most of the time when point guards come into college, they weren't the ones passing. They were always shooting. Right. So it's a lot of the time they got to get used to it.
Harler harassed, but finds him on. Misses the layup. Follows it back up and gets it to go.
Harler misses an assist But Ahmad gets an offensive rebound.
Just padding his own stats a little bit.
Well, part of the reason they have so many offensive rebounds is because they've missed so many layups in this game. Really unable to capitalize on their size advantage. Tough, contested three-pointer as West jumped out on Vaughn. Here's McCabe, finds Lamont West. And West is feeling it.
Well, McCabe has golden hands right now.
Yeah, he does.
He touches it and goes right to the guy that needs to hit the shot.
Well, Lamont West had 7 threes. A career high a couple of games ago. He has 2 early now on an 11-0 West Virginia run. They are up 32-28. Rolling out the carpet here in Morgantown as Bob Huggins looking for career win number 849. We didn't expect it to be easy. It hasn't been easy thus far. The Ryder Bronx and West Virginia Mountaineers in a tussle. 4-point lead for West Virginia following an 11-0 run.
If this smaller lineup continues to work, I think they're going to stick with it for a while. They're getting a lot of ball pressure, and they're making shots. So if it continues to work, they're going to stick with it.
And Ryder really doesn't have a big beast on the floor either. Well, wow. That's a tough shot.
Stevie Jordan, and now Jordan is going to be called for a technical foul for something he did, or maybe some of the attitude he showed towards Jordan McCabe after finishing that off. Here it is coming right at you.
It's good defense to get a hand on the ball.
Yes,
it's a tough shot to get it back up.
That's the strength in Jordan right there.
Against Ryder, number 23, Stevie Jordan.
Well, I've seen a lot worse.
Yeah.
We've seen 2 technical fouls here on Ryder early on. Chase Harler, a 76% free throw shooter.
Yeah, maybe that'll get Chase on court. He's had some good looks from the corner and just hadn't had one go down for him. Sometimes you can get jump started from the free throw line.
Sorry, he was 86 a year ago and now 5 for 6 on the year. That is first miss of the season. It'll be Mountaineers basketball. So they do pick up a point here in the technical foul.
Yeah, we're 2 for 4 on technical free throws, and that is not something Hugs likes to see. Those are free points. You need to take advantage of them.
And Jordan McCabe assists on his last 3 possessions, all 3-pointers for the Mountaineers. There's Issa Ahmad. He'll step out and shot off the mark. Rebound to Allen. Here's Stevie Jordan. Jordan, oh, nice pass to the cutter Allen, but Allen, I don't know if he lost control of that, but missed in the lead pass to Issa Ahmad. Nice catch, actually, on that pass. Kind of a tough one from McCabe. McCabe, nice pass into Ahmad, and now a chance for a 3-point play. 4 quick assists from Jordan McCabe.
Oh, that no look was very, very nice. McCabe comes to West Virginia with those type of talents. People know, but it's just taken a while. It's a big step up from high school to college basketball, but you begin to see some flashes of it now.
He's starting to realize that there's a time and a place for those kinds of passes.
Right.
Well, for fun, you could go check him out on YouTube, a YouTube sensation. Obviously, quite a bit more than that as Ahmad completes a 3-point play. Led his team to the state championships in Wisconsin, Mr. Basketball, 4-star recruit. So not just a guy who can do fancy stuff, although he can do that. Biggest lead of the game for the Mountaineers at 6. Backdoor cut, kick back out. Durham, 3-pointer is good. Anthony Durham.
Nice 2-man game.
Ooh, Chase Harler, a house call on the other end.
Where did that come from?
He's sneaky athletic as some people
Oh, my goodness.
You've seen it a couple times in practice, but never in a game like that.
That was impressive.
Well, you're right, Nate. The officials are letting a lot of contact.
Oh, yeah. It's the kind of games I enjoyed.
Oh, yeah. Let you play a little bit.
or else I foul that.
And McCabe, three-pointer no good. Rebound to Scott here. Chance for a run out. Oh, and taken away. It was Vaughn, actually, and stripped away by McCabe. Maybe shouldn't have taken that three, made up for it on the other end. And meanwhile, Chase Harler, how about this? Mountaineers up 38-33 with 2:18 remaining, and that is a strong finish.
Highlight reel dunk.
McCabe out, Bolden back in. Jordan the hesitation. Williams puts it on the deck. Back to Jordan. Plenty of time on the shot clock still. Down to Tyre Marshall. Left-handed, by the way. Spins to that left hand. Rebound to Scott, and Scott able to lay it back up and in.
Boy, I tell you what, that was a good defensive series wasted by Route because they couldn't get that defensive rebound.
And as a defender, you hate when that happens because you do a good job keeping him, making a tough shot over it with his left hand. If someone doesn't do their job and get the rebound.
And Bolden missed that teardrop attempt, and rebound to Demencio Vaughn, averaging 17 points a game. The guy that Kevin Baggett calls his alpha dog.
Wesley Harris.
West out. Wesley Harris checks back in. The Mountaineers show a little pressure. Now back off is Kamar Williams, the Florida international transfer. High school teammates, by the way, with Ahmad Gilbert. They decided to transfer to the same school. Gilbert was at Minnesota. And Williams has it taken away by Beetle Bolden. 8th turnover. Ahead to Harris.
Boy, it worked out. Beetle. It took him a while to recognize he had people open.
I know, he had 3 people going down the court. It took him a while to find one of them.
Scott step back, no good. Rebound to Harris on the other end. Five-point lead for the Mountaineers. Bolden looking for the cutting him out. Oh my, all kinds of contact there. And Williams goes up. He's fouled by Bolden, down hard and holding his left hand, and he appears to be in some discomfort.
Foul was whistled on Beetle Bolden. His first, team foul number 6.
There's the Harris finish. Nice pass from Chase Harler.
It's a good job getting it out quick.
Well, Beetle Bolden is going to be in a body cast before the year's over. Every time you look up, he's mopping the floor.
Never seems to land on his feet.
No, you're right.
And Kamar Williams was in obvious discomfort. Being helped off here, and looks like they're going to take him into the locker room to look at his left hand.
Well, just 40 seconds left in the half.
Nope, they're going to get him a seat in the end of the bench. Yeah. I beg your pardon.
Now, Beetle was going for the ball. There's nothing, no intent really. It was just it was a hard foul, but still nothing malicious about it. He was going for the basketball. I think it hurt the hand when he hit the floor. Wasn't any contact from Beetle, but they're checking the digits out.
And they're pointing to Frederick Scott. He's going to be the guy shooting the free throws.
Frederick Scott shooting
2. And misses the first. You know, if Kevin Baggett's team had a hard time scheduling this year, they only lose Durham and Karamoko Cisse. They have a player who played for them last year who they're redshirting this year because they just have so much depth. This is a team that, you know, no one's going to want to play next year either.
No. You don't want to see them show up as a 16 or 15 seed in the tournament.
We talked to him about that scheduling, how hard it was, and he said, look, we want to play a really, really tough schedule next year. We think we're good. and they appear to be good. Ahmad misses the reverse layup, out of bounds, off of route. It will be Rider basketball. The shot clock can go off. 24.4 seconds left. A 5-point West Virginia lead.
He's just starting to get frustrated. He feels like he's getting contact on the way into the basket, which he probably is, but he's got to know they're not calling it that way.
Well, they're not calling it at either end. A lot of bumping going on both ends.
Well, the heck with the shot clock, says Scotty. Takes it right in, and now he and Route tied up. It'll be West Virginia basketball.
Jump ball.
Not sure that's the shot that Kevin Baggett really wanted.
No, I definitely don't think it was, and Scott's going to come out for it.
When Bob Huggins getting his shooters in the ball game, Bolden back in, West in, McCabe in for Route.
Checking in for Rider.
Get those guys that can knock a three down in the ball game.
Looks like they're going to run horns here. What's going to happen is Beadle's going to come off of West and then screen for Lamont, and then West going to screen for Lamont.
West, ooh, a long three, Lamont West. And West trying to get the attention of Demencio Vaughn, who had been jabbing with him a little bit, jabbering, I should say, with him a little bit. But West, the three-pointer, and he hits 3 threes towards the second half of this first half. And the Mountaineers enjoying a lead over a game and gifted Rider team. The favorites in the MAC, 43-36, Mountaineers lead. Halftime show coming up next. Coliseum in Morgantown, halftime score 43-36, West Virginia over the Rider Bronx. And we take a look at the Big 12 preseason poll. Kansas receiving 8 votes. They are the #2 team in the country. Kansas State is number 12 in the AP, 10 in the coaches. West Virginia was 13th, of course. TCU also ranked at one point. Both those teams out of the polls, although TCU getting votes along with Iowa State. You see Texas, they're 17th. Texas Tech is 20th. Again, I think when you look at this and you talk about 4 ranked teams, 2 more also receiving votes, West Virginia receiving votes in the coaches. Nathan, it is going to be another tough Big 12 slate.
It is, and it's always tough. And also, I think Baylor and Iowa State are going to finish better than what they were in the preseason. So it's going to be a tough season for sure.
Always is in the Big 12. Meanwhile, we take a look at the upcoming schedule. We have the game against Youngstown State coming up on Saturday. And then some tough ones. Tuesday against Florida. December 8th against Pitt. That's always a big game. Rhode Island. We also have the game coming up against Jacksonville State on December 22nd, a team that might be a little better than folks would figure. And this has been a testing, Warren, early season schedule for the Mountaineers.
It has been, you know. Usually you don't find what people consider your early games like that. That's that tough. But, you know, you got Florida and Pitt finally lost the game last night with that young squad they have. That's going to be an interesting ball game, too. West Virginia's got some tough other non-conference games coming up, along with Tennessee, too.
Yep, and Jeff Capel's done a nice job with Pitt in his first season there, down to the wire against Iowa last night, a top 15 team in the country. So, you know, college basketball is so great because there's so many upsets, right? It's hard to call them upsets, I guess, sometimes, but when you see a Radford win, a Lipscomb win over ranked teams, those are upsets.
That's right. Yep.
Rider trying to add their name to that pantheon of upset victors. And it will be Rider basketball to begin the second half. And Vito Bolden not in the starting lineup here. As we mentioned these earlier, you see Radford and IUP, UI, Lipscomb, Northeastern, Furman rolling into Philadelphia to knock off Villanova. Second half, and we are underway. The inbound to Stevie Jordan. Rider in their red uniforms.
And West Virginia starts man-to-man in the second half.
And Allen, tough angle pass to try to get it in.
Good job of Route getting over the top.
And here's the kick. Allen, open three-pointer, and it is good. He can really stroke it.
That is the last person you want to leave on this Rider team wide open like that.
We've seen West Virginia have a number of difficult times closing out on shooters here in the early going this year.
The problem with that possession was that they helped on the same side that the ball was being driven on. The help should come from the opposite sideline on the same side, because that opens up those easy kickouts like that one right there.
Here's Napper. Well, you know what? You replace Bolden with Napper, but maybe something about the position remaining hot. Brandon Napper, the three-pointer. The Mountaineers lead is at 7. Missed Jordan in a back cut. Now Durham will pull up, and Durham shot off the mark, and nobody home for Ryder on the offensive glass. Napper pulls it back out, wants to get his team into the offense. Wesley Harris and a cutting route, but it's batted away just maybe a little late on that delivery. Marshall knocks it away.
Well, look at the elevation on Napper's jump shot here. He really got up on that shot. Is at the peak of the jump.
Inside to Ahmad. Ahmad back the other way with a left hand. Pretty move by Issa Ahmad.
That was a good job staying patient. He got his defender off balance, got back to his left hand, and laid it in easily.
Did not rush it.
Is that the tendency? Back to the basket, guys. A little tendency to rush that one sometimes?
Yeah, you know, you push it up when you have plenty of time. Issa took his time and did a nice job.
Tough step back from Allen. And Durham tries to keep it alive, does so. Jordan back to Durham. Durham driving baseline, hanging, route, changes the shot. And the rebound attempt, the follow-up no good from Allen. And now have some physical play. Officials want to talk things over here.
Ahmad was on the floor.
It looked like he just got tripped up. We'll see what they're looking at, though. Are they going to go over to the monitor here?
Oh,
he
boy.
grabbed it.
Yes, he did.
That might be a call.
Definitely grabbed him.
Good open field tackle. Well, officials are going to see that.
Yeah, that's...
They're looking at the monitor now. I don't know.
Right. You know, and for fans at home, you know, a lot of times some of these regional basketball games, you'll see 4 cameras. We have 6 cameras here. Maybe those extra cameras finding that little tug of the ankle. Well, I can't imagine we're not going to get
an intentional,
I would think,
something here.
See in the middle of your screen there, the venerable Jay Jacobs to the left of the official, working with Tony Caridi for tonight's game. So we're getting the explanation. Yep. So it's going to be flagrant foul, 2 shots for West Virginia, and then they'll inbound underneath the basket. This is a good call, right? This is pretty obvious, I think.
Yeah, I don't think you need all 6 cameras to find that one.
That was the flagrant one. Here's the rule book. Excessive and/or unnecessary, not a legitimate play, a ball, hold or push from behind. Well, we got a couple of those, I think. He had 2 out of 3 on that checklist.
Yeah, that was textbook.
I always wondered, guys, if you've shot a technical, is it a little strange to be the only guy down there, nobody in the lane, hard to shoot those?
It's very strange. Everybody's looking at only you, and on top of that, Coach Huggs is looking at you because he does not want those to be missed.
I never
3 of 6 now, right?
Yeah,
I never shot him well enough to ever get an opportunity to do that.
I got 1 chance, and then that's never to go back.
I always wondered about that. It seems a little lonely out there. You're right. Everybody is looking at you. The Mountaineers up 49-39, a 6-0 run over the last minute and a half.
It's going to be big for Ryder to get on a little bit of a run here. You don't want to go down by 15 or 16 this early in the second half.
Ryder switching the zone right now.
Chase Harler will try the 3-pointer and drop it down. Chase Harler. Jordan the blow by, missed it. Harris the rebound. Napper into Rout, and Logan Rout will finish. The largest lead of the game for the Mountaineers now at 15.
Kevin Baggett's needing to, yeah, he wants a timeout right now. His team's coming unraveled.
Timeout. Called on their Ryder.
And the Mountaineers get the three-pointer from Chase Harler, followed up by a little bit of a glare for Stevie Jordan as he drops that one down, and the Mountaineers lead as it 54-39. Well, the Mountaineers have a 15-point lead, and they have hit 5 more threes than the Ryder Broncs, so spreading it out to Warren, a lot of guys, and Nathan, a lot of different guys contributing here from beyond the arc.
Yeah, they are. And with the absence of Sags, they don't have a real inside presence, so the importance of making these threes is even greater for this game.
Well, Vito Bolden has 3. Chase Harler, Brandon Napper, Issa Ahmad, Lamont West, 3 for him as well. So plenty of contributions for the Mountaineers from three-point range, helping to extend this lead to 54-39, a 15-point lead. And this, again, about the maximum, Nathan, you would expect Ryder to be able to get into and be able to get out of, and now they turn one over very quickly.
Yeah, it is, but the Mountaineers have been known to give up big leads, so.
After the miss, Rout, the rebound, and no travel there, no foul either, not a contact. Letting them play.
Yeah, West Virginia's being able to be as physical as they want, and that's going to benefit them much, much more than it would Ryder.
Farther down to Rout. Rout kind of lost the handle. Looked like it rolled up his hand a little bit, but maybe bailed out a little on the foul call here.
Ryder foul whistle to number 20.
Boy, it's good to see Logan Rout be able to get down. You know, a year or two ago, he would have been walking on that or standing up straight. He's getting his body down, getting in good balance, and he knows what he wants to do with the ball when he gets it now.
It's the first free throw.
For 13, Frederick Scott checks in for Ryder.
7 rebounds in this game for Logan Rout.
He's doing what he needs to do in Sag's absence. He's getting rebounds. He's making the easy plays. He's setting good screens and rebounding very well on the offensive end.
7 points, 7 rebounds. Sags Konate, we figured he might not play. Has not played, not even on the bench anymore right now for the Mountaineers.
Good help by Wes Harris just now.
Mark Williams fouled before that layup.
Brandon Napper called for the personal, his first.
First foul on Brandon Napper. And Jordan, pretty move.
Basket by Jordan.
There needs to be somebody there for help. The ball was set on this side for too long for there to be no help.
And now a quick turnover, so Ryder trying to bring some momentum into this first timeout, official timeout of the second half. Still, the Mountaineers have extended their lead to 15, 56-41. Game show with the guys as well. And Colorado is a team that is really exciting. Randon McKinnon and Landeskog, 3 outstanding forwards, so plenty of talent on the ice tonight, later on this evening.
Nate, you made a good point a while ago that West Virginia has a tendency sometimes to let these leads go. You know, really good teams now would bury somebody like Ryder when they have them down like that. Let's see what the Mountaineers do.
That's exactly right. If they can push this to 20 coming out of this timeout, then I think they can feel pretty comfortable.
Good defense out on Scott, puts it on the floor, and they're going to get Issa Ahmad with the reach in.
Foul is called on Issa Ahmad, his first.
That was the trail official who calls this, the official behind here. Did you pay attention to anything to which official called it? Did you think, well, I didn't have that good a view, or did you?
No, I just complained no matter what. I didn't care which official called it.
I saw Nate one night, all 3 guys blew the whistle at the same time.
Scott misses the first of 2. Lamont West back into the game for West Virginia. Jordan McCabe is checked in as well. Second free throw is good for Frederick Scott. West looking for help, finds it in Wesley Harris. And now Harris cut off, will call a timeout, won't it? Number 4, the timeout. They're calling a foul on Tyre Marshall.
That's a pretty interesting call.
Well, that foul, he called the foul before the timeout.
So 14-point lead for the Mountaineers, approaching 15 minutes remaining here in the second half. Jordan McCabe. And now the call on Stevie Jordan.
Stevie Jordan picks up his second, team foul number 4.
Second on Jordan. McCabe looking and now retreating, 10 on the shot clock. Tough spot for West, has to force up a 3. And Rout able to come up with another big rebound inside to Wesley Harris, and Harris has it knocked away. Now we saw Jordan McCabe dribbling. Was that a case of he needs to get the ball to the offense a little quicker, or do guys need to come out and help a little bit there, Nathan?
No, he needs to get the offense running a lot quicker in that. He can't dribble around for 24 seconds on a shot clock and then give the ball up and expect someone else to make a play. He needs to get him into the offense. Thank God Logan's got his 5th offensive rebound.
Yeah, he put Lamont West in a bad situation there. He got the ball with the shot clock running down.
Exactly.
Had to force it up. Logan Rout did what he's supposed to do. He went to the long side of the opposite side where the ball was shot, and he was right there to get that offensive rebound.
And West hits both free throws. Lead back up to 16 for West Virginia. There's Jordan McCabe, who had a brief one-sided chat with head coach Bob Huggins following that last possession.
He'll get it figured out eventually.
Logan Rout getting a good hand, and James Long has talked about how much extra work Jordan McCabe does to try to get this Division I game figured out. As Williams takes it down the lane, is fouled, he'll have a chance to shoot a couple of free throws.
I don't know if there's an injury to Andrew Gordon or not, but he's been on the bike the whole second half, has not even been on the bench, so I don't know if he got nicked up in the first half or not, but he's not even on the bench with the ball club on the cycle.
And we did see Sags Kanate, by the way, rejoining the team on the bench. Williams hits the first. And there he is. We could all stand a little extra work around the holidays, right? On that exercise bike. Williams hits them both. Ooh, nice job by Harler to find Ahmad. Quick ball movement, open 3. Wesley Harris off the mark. Long side rebound to West, and Lamont West is able to lead in.
And West did the same thing that Rout did. Got opposite of where the ball was shot in good offensive rebounding position.
Yeah, you put up some rebound numbers for you. That's where you want to go, right? The opposite side?
Yes.
That's exactly where you want to go, and that's where Hugs makes sure his people are at.
Demencio Vaughn fouled by Wesley Harris. Helps him up.
Wesley Harris, second, team foul, number 4.
Nice back cut.
Got to be careful getting under people's legs like that.
Yeah,
they
you're
might call
exactly
that
right.
Demencio Vaughn on the line for Ryder.
Vaughn held it as 4 points, averaging 17. It's the first. And Matthews will check in for Wesley Harris.
Checking in for Ryder, Jordan Allen.
And for Ryder, Allen back in the game for Durham. Well, right now, West Virginia enjoying an 11 rebound edge over Ryder as Vaughn hits both free throws, and that's something we talked about, that Ryder has played against bigger teams, Power 5 teams, and been able to hang in there in the rebound department. But West Virginia, that has been a big reason they've gotten out to this 14-point lead.
Yeah, it is, especially because the majority of those rebounds have been on the offensive end.
Ryder foul whistle number 23.
Allen once again.
His third personal.
Yeah, Jordan McCabe baits guys into reaching. They think they can take it from him, and he's going to lose some of them, but he's picked up. He's had a couple of fouls called on the defender just because he puts that ball out there and then takes it away.
Hey, be very careful. That take it away part will get you a quick seat.
Yeah, it will.
Pass from West to Ahmad. Is that a little late on that delivery, or was he just not open?
Nah, it's always a little late. You got to recognize that he's going to be open coming off the screen and deliver it much earlier than that.
Matthews kicks out. McCabe's three-pointer on the way, no good. Rebound to Vaughn, and Vaughn has it poked away by Matthews. Ahmad back to West for the jam.
Boy, good quick hands by the Mountaineers.
.16-point lead. Scott, tough move.
That was a good job getting his body into Issa and getting his layup in.
Knocked, and Harler keeps it alive again. Chase Harler's done that a couple of times now. And Ahmad going to be called for the charge. And the move looked pretty, but Scott got in underneath him, and it's an 8th turnover here for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, Hunt's not happy with Ahmad. West Virginia had a 3-on-1 when Ahmad decided he was going to take it. The defender did the only thing he could do, and that was draw a charge.
Yeah, and he was standing there. He should have been able to see it and kick that out.
He had two other people open.
Well, Ryder kind of living on the edge of where they can be and have any real hope of coming back in this game. Sort of wobbling around that 15-point margin. It's 14 now.
Yeah, if they're gonna want to make a comeback here, I think they need to get into single digits when it gets under 10 minutes.
Vaughn, tried to go high off the glass, a little too high, and it trickled over the top.
Wow.
Harris didn't like what he saw, so calls a timeout for the Mountaineers. 62-48, the lead remains with 12:44 remaining here in the second half. And I think Bob Huggins looking for somebody maybe to present themselves to the ball there a little bit better.
Yeah, I think he expected Jermaine to do it there. He's a 6'7" guard. He should have been able to get into his defender and pop open on that kind of situation.
Speaking of Bob Huggins, he and his West Virginia Mountaineers will return to AT&T Sportsnet on Saturday afternoon when they take on the Youngstown State Penguins out of the Horizon League. All part of Wild and Wonderful Sports. It tips off live Saturday at 4 on AT&T Sportsnet.
That'll be a homecoming of sorts for the coach of Youngstown State, Jared Calhoun, who spent some years here in Morgantown.
They like to fire up a ton of threes. And that is one of our 3 remaining upcoming games. Jacksonville State, which could be another sneaky tough team, and then Lehigh as well.
Well, West Virginia's been living on the edge with some of these passes.
Gabe, a little dribbling exhibition there. Oh, Harris, nice spin move into the lane. Had a smaller defender and was able to take advantage. Williams, and oh my, a hard foul as Divine Eke was sandwiched, and now we'll go to the free throw line.
His third, team foul number 6.
Ooh, that is a hard foul. He had his career at the University of Maine, where he started 22 games, and Sat out a year, transferred.
I think that's why a lot of these mid-major teams seem like they are better than they used to be, because there's been a lot more transferring going on in college basketball.
Yep.
And a lot of players are going to these mid-major teams in order to play more.
And some of the guys that were recruited out of high school, they stay the 4 years too.
Exactly.
So they get that continuity going.
Right, you get a combination of those two things, exactly. That's a really good point. Points, both of them. Both free throws missed, lead at 16. Six on the shot clock. Haley now, step back three-pointer, and the rebound to Scott. Durham will try from three-point range, and Durham hits.
Yeah, West Virginia confused on the defensive end that time. No communication. The players looking around for people they were supposed to pick up.
Lamont needs to make a decision on that, whether or not he's going to go and guard the ball so someone can rotate, or if he's going to stay on his man.
Pretty play from McCabe to Matthews.
Or they were both on the same page.
Now Haley is able to steal it away, had it snapped back, but McCabe is there. McCabe in trouble, and they're going to call a personal foul. There's a lot of jawing after plays going on here. It has been a feisty game, and we've seen some pretty passes from the freshman Jordan McCabe. Finds another freshman, Emmett Matthews. Backdoor slam dunk, 15-point lead for the Mountaineers, 66-51. At the Coliseum in Morgantown, Brandon Napper, one among many raining down threes for the Mountaineers in this game. Chase Arler, one of several dunks for the Mountaineers as well. Yep. And then Matthews saw him doing that, and Matthews one of those dunks moments ago on a little backdoor alley-oop from McCabe. Mountaineers up 15. Here's Matthews. Freshman who has seen increasing playing time. Here's Jordan McCabe, maybe his most effective game in his early career.
Well, 6 assists in 10 minutes of play. That you can't beat that.
6 assists without a turnover, which is what we're looking for.
Right. It's the first of 2. And will remain at 1 of 2. Eke the rebound for Ryder. Mountaineers remaining in the man-to-man defense. Here's Durham, under 10 on the shot clock. Backdoor cut. Lamar Williams able to finish. Pretty play. Boy, they had a number of effective backdoor cuts.
They have, and Coach Hugg's not going to be happy about that. He preaches all the time that you need to snap your head, turn around, and make sure that they can't catch those easy layup backdoor cuts.
So Jermaine Haley late getting there.
2 things on that as West draws a defender up in the air and has a chance for a 4-point play.
Wow.
Seems to have a knack for that, doesn't he? The 4-point play.
Oh my goodness.
I've seen him make more of these than anyone I've ever witnessed before. Just got to get the ball up there, I guess.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Marshall and Jordan check in the line.
His toe might have been on the line.
Lamont West is the free throw line for the Mountaineers.
Give him 2 or give him 3 there?
I don't know. Bank was open late. Did he mean to bank that, Nate?
No, absolutely not.
Oh.
He just threw it up.
If you ask him after the game, I bet he tells you he did.
The lead now at 18. Largest lead of the game for the Mountaineers, 71-53. And ask you about those backdoor cuts. Obviously, no Sags Kanate. Those are a little harder to execute when he's in there. Still, you don't want to see them guys, I'm assuming, no matter who's in there, right?
No, it doesn't matter who's in there. Somebody should have been help side, and he shouldn't have been able to be that open.
Here's Vaughn, who strokes the three-pointer.
Three-pointer by Vaughn.
That's not somebody that they want to let heat up. If he can get going, then they have a chance to come back.
Yeah, and again, they can turn the ball over as well. So they are a team that is capable of mounting comebacks. And Vaughn stepped underneath, but he's going to be called for the block. And Emmett Matthews a chance to go to the free throw line. That's Durham, I beg your pardon. Matthews the pretty finish, and now a chance for a three-point play.
That was the right call. The defender was not set early, and he moved into him, which is a block.
Boy, Emmett Matthews is athletic. He really is. I think he's going to play a big role for West Virginia as time goes on.
He was originally a UConn commit, and then with Kevin Ollie being relieved of his duties, he sought another school, wound up at West Virginia, so a great late sign for them to pick up Matthews under those circumstances. Vaughn will try another three. This one a little more contested by Haley. Kept alive by Durham, batted around, and now they're going to call a foul inside on Ryder. It's going to be on Stevie Jordan, and that is 4 for Stevie Jordan.
Ryder's starting to get a little frustrated. Vaughn got slapped in the face there, and they didn't call it. Then they're going to call that foul. And
Jordan's been frustrated. He was frustrated in the first half. Picked up a technical foul.
You wonder, and again, this is purely speculation. You know, a team like Ryder, who hasn't had a chance to play many opponents, and they understand who West Virginia is and what they're about. And I wonder if maybe they're putting a little too much pressure on themselves, too much desire to show what they're all about in a game like this.
Well, that and the fact that they really probably have not run up against anybody as physical as West Virginia is.
Here's Vaughn, has it knocked away, and then the follow-up, no good as well. And Marshall and Harris, and Marshall has words for Harris. That's the second time we've seen Marshall, and they're going to get him for a technical foul. And Marshall and Bolden did that earlier, and Matthews reaches over to the student section and waves up, says, "Let's hear it." And you may have heard a surge of noise behind us here.
They're going to call it double, yeah. Yep. Well, you know, the whistle blows, you've got to stop. We heard the whistle blow about 5 times during that sequence.
I'd say it was more than 5.
Well, yeah.
No point in doing that. It proves nothing.
Neither guy wanted to let go.
Yeah, it was more than 5. Maybe they wore the P out of that whistle. they don't have P's anymore in whistles, do they?
I don't know. That thing's going to be running back to its pod, though, if that's the case. That thing was overused. Well, Kevin Baggett, it does look like his team has had trouble keeping its composure throughout much of this game.
3 technicals tonight. That's more than you usually see in the game.
Right.
Yeah. You can go a good stretch of season without seeing 3 technicals.
Yeah.
Gabe will pull up as we reach the 9-minute mark and a 19-point West Virginia lead, and now a little miscommunication here.
There's no reason for Lamont not to be looking for the ball there.
Backdoor cut, beautiful, and Vaughn maybe challenged by Haley there, can't finish. .12 on the shot clock. Into West, has a shorter man on him, creates a little room, missed it, tried to get it back, and he and Matthews kind of battling for it, but they're going to say it's out of bounds off of Ryder. So it will remain West Virginia basketball.
He's going to be frustrated with this one. He had a wide open layup.
Oh yeah, it was knocked out by Lamar Williams. Matthews, quick pull up, and ball on the rebound. Vaughn spinning. Ooh, pretty move by Demencio Vaughn.
Wow.
Took that right down the middle of the court.
There's a cutting Matthews, and foul's going to be called on Scott.
That was a good job by East to keep his head up, looking at the basket, and a good cut by Emmett.
Well, the Mountaineers in command against a pretty good Rider team, up 75-58. Now, Lamont West, a couple games ago, he had a career-high 27 points against St. Joseph's, 20 thus far tonight here, Warren.
Well, in just 20 minutes of action, so he's made the most of his time. You've seen Lamont get on those rolls with threes sometime, and he can put up numbers in a hurry.
And the beauty here is he threw it off the glass on the foul and was able to convert and go to the free throw line. Lamont West 20 points, and that's a new career high for Matthews, by the way. Emmett Matthews, as you take a look at the numbers for Lamont West, 6 points. And now 7.
The way that this game's been played, as feisty as it's been, West Virginia's probably lucky this is not a home and home. If they have to go to Rider, you know.
Small gym, I'm sure there would be.
Oh, you pack it to the Raptors.
Yeah. And then it has been feisty. Scott crosses over, missed it, and is able to tap it back in. Frederick Scott, nice job.
You can tell Scott's really been playing best because of his size. He's been able to get in the lane, get his shoulder on people, and make easy layups.
Well, he's a nice player. As we see the turnover here, it's going to go back to Rider because he's a big guy who can handle. You'll occasionally see him left alone to bring the ball up against the press. So he's good enough to put it on the floor. He can shoot the three, and then he's got the size to be able to finish.
Size and strength.
Very mature guy. You're talking about that strength. He's just a redshirt sophomore, but he played 4 games at DePaul. Got a medical redshirt, transferred, so sat out a year. So this is really his 4th year of college.
That bump on the bridge of the nose to Beetle Bolden must have been a little more than just that. I mean, he has not seen action here in the second half.
Well, you can't help but think how key and how important that's going to be for him to stay healthy. And it's been hard for him. He missed a year with an injury.
It'll be important for him to stay healthy, but you can't rely on it because he hasn't been healthy his entire career. So you got to find other ways to get people in there and still win games.
Right. Well, West Virginia fortunate there. Issa Ahmad just losing the ball. Rider trying to save it, and it goes off Rider's hands.
Well, we've seen on occasion where that guy running the point has been McCabe, as it is tonight. We've also seen Napper in the no-look pass there from Matthews to Haley. So it may wind up being more of a committee than one guy night in and night out. Scott able to use that size inbound to inside to finish. Haley, of course, some point guard experience as well. Here's West, 3-pointer, too strong.
I think the most concerning part of the night for Hook so far is that his point guards have 8 combined turnovers out of the Mountaineers' 10.
4 of those from Beetle Bolden, 3 from Napper, 2 from McCabe on your left, talking to Beetle Bolden. Offset by 7 assists, however, in McCabe's case. Ooh, Haley had a wide open West and
threw it at his feet.
And that's your 4th guy who can play point guard throwing at someone's feet.
Yep. You know, it's funny. He looked over at Bob Huggins, and Bob Huggins looked back at him, and essentially saying, "Feet are not hands. You got to get that pass up a little higher." Here's Jordan, the three-pointer, and it's good. Stevie Jordan just rolls around the screen, knocks it down.
Mountaineers need to get bucket here.
Yeah, they can't fall asleep.
No, definitely not.
Lead is 14 now. We talked about this. Ryder can score points in a hurry. They can cause turnovers. They like to run out. They can hit the three. Ahmad Harris, three-pointer, too strong. And it will go out of bounds and be Ryder basketball. 5:29 left, and Ryder's still hanging around.
If they get hot, they can make a little bit of a game out of this.
Well, they did the same thing against UCF. The team picked to win the American Athletic Conference. They had a huge deficit in that game, but closed within just a few points.
Right. UCF, I saw them in person. They're pretty good.
There's Durham. Durham takes it hard into the basket, and now Vaughn's going to be called for over the back. And probably not the shot you want when you're trying to get back in the game. As, Durham a little off the mark there.
Definitely not the shot you want, especially when he had Vaughn wide open on a one more and just missed him.
Mentioned this earlier. Durham has already completed his degree in radio and TV. I asked him, of course, as I always do, whether he wanted my job. He said maybe.
No way.
Told him he's got to wait another 20 years. And working on his master's in athletic leadership. So nice to see those guys when they get the extra year take advantage of it. You know, take advantage of the opportunity that college can provide. Matthews continuing to add to his career high and give him 9 points.
Oh, he's got a nice stroke.
Jordan down the middle, reverse layup, and good.
That's just too easy.
Yeah, I was going to say it's pretty bad when a point guard can dribble right down the middle and score that quickly.
Durham, and that's been, we've seen that whistled twice now, where the defender can't get into an offensive player. Look at Jordan now with the reverse layup.
I mean, you have to at least contest that. West can't just let him go by like that.
Durham with his 5th foul will have to check out. Kamar Williams getting set to take his place.
Hear the march chant from the students.
Yes. Every once in a while you'll see a player have a little fun with that.
Yeah, he did just now. Kind of skipped along.
Oh, he's having some fun
He's
with
hamming it up.
That might be one of the better walks I've seen. Kind of double step. Now he's standing over by the Ryder bench. I don't know if we have a shot. There he is. And now gesturing over to this.
He did a bunny hop a second ago.
Oh. Ahmad hits 1 of 2. Lead at 15. The student section hasn't given up.
No, they won't give up till he sits.
Now he's taking a knee. Williams misses the layup. Gets it back. Contested. Missed it again. Here's Scott. Scott missed it, and now it's going to be an offensive goaltending on Demencio Vaughn. Well, Ryder needed the basket there.
Oh, boy, that was tough luck for Ryder. They had a lot of point-blank shots that just would not drop.
Yeah, just barely still on the rim. Can't touch it.
There's a turnover. Allen pulls up. Three-pointer. He's an excellent shooter.
On that one,
down to 12.
If you're Easter, you need to take the 10 seconds of that. You can't just throw him straight to him, or else they're going to have advantage.
And West Virginia's having all types of trouble with this pressure.
4:23 remaining. Ryder still hanging in there, down 12, 82 to 70. Well, we talked about turnovers that Ryder can force. We talked about three-pointers that Ryder can hit, and they do both here.
That's a tough play for Issa. He catches it with 1 second till a 10-second count, but you have to be smart enough in that situation to take the 10-second count instead of throwing it directly to him. Dead ball turnovers are better than live ball turnovers because they lead to breaks like that and an easy three.
West Virginia needs to be more aggressive on offense. You know, they're kind of back on their heels against this press. You've got to come and meet the ball. You know that they're going to be aggressive. West Virginia just kind of, you know, lackadaisical at times with the basketball against this pressure.
Each team with one timeout left. Get it inbounds to McCabe. And over the timeline safely. But turned over.
That's just being lazy with the ball.
Stevie Jordan kicks to Williams. Williams back to Jordan. Trying to settle things down a little bit. And Kamar Williams, both point guards on the floor right now for Ryder. They see that a lot with Durham out. Jordan cuts the dribble, looking for help.
Scott has a size advantage on Jordan McCabe down low. They just can't give him the ball.
And now this one taken away as Kamar Williams dribbled into trouble. They let the shot clock wind down. Couldn't get a good look, and Issa Ahmad forces the turnover.
Well, Kevin Baggett has to be upset with that. You force the turnover, you come down, you can't get a good shot. You don't even get an attempt.
Especially when they had a chance to break double digits.
Yeah, sure.
At the line for the
Get a 3, knock it to 9. Boy, that's a huge emotional lift. You at least want it thrown up at the rim.
Ahmad misses the first, 16.7 rebounds. Pair of assists for Issa Ahmad in this game. 3 steals as well. And missed them both.
Well, that second wasn't close.
No, and this is start missing free throws. That gives him a chance to make a comeback here.
Here's Jordan, little teardrop, and Jordan gets it to go. Down to 10, 82-72. Harler in trouble. Spins it over to McCabe, who hustles across the timeline to Matthews for the finish. Boy, a confident play from McCabe.
Yes, it was. It was a very good job at him dribbling the ball until the defender made a decision on which way he was going to go and going opposite of that.
Oh, and Williams misses the layup. And out of bounds, you're going to say off of Ryder. And boy, we've seen Ryder miss a couple of layups. How about this?
He took it far enough down that Scott made a decision to go with Issa, and he just kicked it over to him.
Boy, another golden opportunity for Ryder, and just missed an easy snowbird.
Well, they have missed 2 layups here. It looks, you know, down 12. They could easily be down 8. McCabe out of contact. Now Wesley Harris. Wow.
Boy, that wasn't a thing of beauty, but no, it ended up being nice.
That was a serpentine route to the hoop, but able to finish it off. Not about the journey, about the destination on that one. 3 is in and out. And McCabe able to slow things down a little bit. McCabe, the pump fake. Twister misses, and I don't know if they're going to get Allen for the block on the Harris shot. It's 2 shots for Harris. You got Kamar Williams on the foul as
Wesley Harris from the free throw line, shooting 2.
Two large steps there.
Yeah, used every bit of his length to get to the hole.
20 offensive rebounds for the Mountaineers tonight. Harris misses the first.
Being up 14, you have to feel pretty comfortable with the win at this point, but you'd like to see him finish tough and strong now, because in other games it might not be this big of a lead.
That checks in for Stevie Jordan. Harris hits the second. He's at 15. Logan Rout really effective in his minutes tonight. A nice job on the help defense by Lamont West. Oh, they're going to get him for a foul, though.
Sure, Kevin Baggett is saying, where was that in the first half?
Team foul number 7.
On the call or the drive to the basket?
On the call.
The call, yeah.
2 shots.
misses the first. Leading scorer held to 11 points thus far. Does have 8 rebounds.
He hasn't been able to get much going tonight. As you could even tell on that, he shot it and immediately ran to the basket. He has no confidence in his shot.
Violation called against Ryder. No basket.
Oh, nice, crisp.
Yes.
Oh, was that pretty?
That's the way you draw it up.
Inside to Scott. Scott able to lay it in.
Basket by Scott.
One of the things that I thought we might see more of in this game because of the effectiveness of Stevie Jordan and because teams have done it well against the Mountaineers is the drive to the middle and the kick out. We haven't seen it as much as I feared you might as a West Virginia fan. You might fear that might be a big issue in this game, but it really hasn't been, has it?
Yeah, no, I thought it would be a big issue, especially because of Allen, his ability to make shots. The Mountaineers have done a much better job staying in front of the ball, and that's helped them a lot.
And McCabe almost had the finish. It was there for him, but floated a little too much to Harris. Another turnover. Three-pointer on the way. No good for Scott, and a foul inside, and it's going to go against Ryder once again.
A little too much Globetrotter action for Bob Huggins right now. McCabe's going to hit the wood.
Follows whistle against Ryder's number 11, Divine Eke, his second.
He does have some looks over there, doesn't he?
He is. Yeah, he's flashy, but with.
I was talking about Bob. Yeah.
He's flashy too.
Yeah, you don't. Certain looks you don't want to get probably as you're heading over, I would imagine. And Matthews misses the first.
Jordan Napper checks into the Mountaineers.
McCabe. Probably, some things to learn, but 8 assists, 3 turnovers in the game. Matthews missed them both. Matthews a nice game as well, as 11 points, a new career high for him. Williams can't get it to go. Battled for. It's Eke. And Divine Eke with a follow.
Basket by Eke.
And West Virginia will ease it back out. 13-point lead. 89-76. There's Napper down the middle, kicks to the corner, 3 on the way from Harler. As the shot clock expires, he knocks it down. Great find by Brandon Napper.
Knew he had Harler in the corner the whole time. Drove, drew everybody and kicked.
Williams inside, and Ajiri Ogamuno Johnson able to get his first basket of the game there.
Yeah, Mr. Johnson laid that in nicely, didn't he?
Well, he was just Ajiri Johnson, and then he showed up with Ogamuno on the back of his uniform and informed folks at Ryder that he was Ogamuno Johnson.
Okay.
Still not a finished product for the Mountaineers, but this was a much better game than their first 5.
Very true.
There goes the musket. And the victory, 92-78, third straight win for the Mountaineers, Warren.
Third straight win. Not all of them have been pretty, but it's a young ball club that's learning to grow.
Exactly. When you're this young of a team, a win's a win this early in the season.
The Mountaineers win for the 3rd consecutive time, career win number 849 for Bob Huggins. They are now 4-2 on the season. We have Penguins hockey coming up a little bit later on. Coming up next, In the Room, for Warren Baker. For Nathan Adrian, our entire AT&T Sportsnet crew, I'm Rob King. Thanks for watching West Virginia basketball on AT&T Sportsnet.